Hey, everybody. This is a conversation that I had with Jean Antoine from Super Home Warranty. He talks a little bit about their product, about what sets them apart from other home warranty companies, and even a new product that they have for buyers of new construction. So check it out. All right. Hey, Jean with Super Home Warranty. Got
Yes,
some
sir. Good
questions.
morning.
Morning. Got some questions for you today about your product, kind of what sets you guys apart. I love what you guys are doing. Uh, I've been with the home warranty company for over 10 years. We're going to switch over to you guys here this month. Our deal's up with them, so we're switching over. I'll tell you what, I think two things from your reputation. One, the service that you guys provide that
Yeah,
we just don't see from our company and what I don't see from a lot of other companies. So service first. And secondly, we need to talk about the maintenance stuff that you guys can throw in with your warranties as well. So tell us a little bit about your
for sure.
product.
Yeah, so Super was born as kind of a response to, the negative aspects of home warranty. So a lot of people know about all the pain points of, poor quality providers just taking a long time to get people out there in the first place, and then just unreasonably denying claims. And these are all things that we wanted to kind of tackle and do differently. So even from the inception of making a claim, it's easily done right on the app. Majority of our claims, because we actually own the scheduling process, we get somebody out typically within 24 to 48 hours. So your clients and homeowners have a much faster response time. And then in terms of our coverage and coverage limits, we really sought to just provide the most robust and complete coverages in the market, so that homeowners just don't have to deal with those denials.
So that's one of the biggest problems that we've had with our company is that handoff. It's that we call them with an issue. We have a problem. We need something fixed. They kind of hand it off to the vendor. We never hear from anybody again on the warranty company side.
Right.
And we're kind of left to deal with this vendor. So, I guess the first thing is, how long would it take to schedule a service call with you guys?
In terms of scheduling the call, it takes just a couple of minutes. You go on the app, it's five steps. What's going on, what's the appliance, and when can we get out there? Give us two dates and times that we can get out there. And then from that point, we actually have a very Uber or Lyft-like experience where it gets pushed out to our servicers that are approved and provided, their information in our network. So then that way we can schedule it immediately. We've even had same day appointments where servicers have been out the same day that appointment is scheduled. So those just allow, our team to move a lot faster.
And you guys remain the point of contact throughout, right?
Yes,
It's
yeah.
not that
Yeah, that
handoff
was the thing
where,
you mentioned.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of companies in the home warranty space kind of operated almost like a lead generation. So they just hand it off to the servicer and let them do whatever they're going to do. So we're always in contact with the customer. We want to be that point of contact, even through payment. Like money never changes hands between the homeowner and the servicer, because we want to make sure that we're accountable and we're transparent and that the job is getting done appropriately. So once the job's complete, we actually charge the credit card just like Uber or Lyft. You hop out of the car and your card's charged. So we just try to make that whole process seamless.
nice. So if we did have an issue or we did have a complaint with one of your servicers, we go to you guys directly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And after the service is completed, we actually have a rating that pops up on the app. How was this provider? You can put in whether, 1 through 5 stars, and then leave us some notes about it. If there's something in the moment that needs to be addressed, then absolutely reach out to our customer service team right away so that we can get that addressed. The good benefit to us is that we actually have a local vendor relations representative. They don't deal with customers directly, but when they get that feedback, their whole job is to train up those servicers and make sure they're running our customer experience the way we want, so that we can improve and grow and maintain that high level of customer service that we want to deliver.
That's awesome. So
Absolutely.
if something wasn't done correctly and they had to come back out, do we have to pay another service charge, trip charge?
Yeah, so if it's a recall service, so if it wasn't done correctly, no, we want to get out there and make sure that it was done right. But sometimes there's a case where it was done correctly and then the thing just maybe breaks down again. We do allow for a recall to come back out within 30 days to make sure that we resolve that issue. So they wouldn't have to pay for that return
Nice.
visit.
Nice. So if we had a repair that somehow required more than one trade, so you have to have multiple people come out. So the two things that
Yeah,
we kind of thought of is, one, if you had an electric water heater or something like that. For some reason, you have to have a plumber come out and handle that. And then maybe you have to have an electrician for the other side. Or like you needed a new dishwasher, something like that. You have the service guys for
Right.
the dishwasher, and then you may need a plumber or something like that out. Would that require multiple copays, or are we looking at this as just one project on the whole?
Yeah, that would be looked at as one project. So they would just pay that copay that first time. And then if we need to rotate somebody out and get somebody else out there, they're not going to pay for that again. Additionally, there are some companies that would charge per claim, even if it's within the same industry.
Right.
So like we would have, say you had an appliance that went out, maybe your microwave and your dishwasher, and say that was the same tech that could go out. Typically, we would probably only charge one charge for that, whereas other companies are going to charge you both, even though it's the same tech going out at the same time. So
Yeah.
that's a unique beneficial point to us as well.
We've experienced that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's firsthand. I've paid twice for that before. So does your coverage include things like removing the old water heater or taking the coolant from an old HVAC, something like that?
Yeah. This actually is one of those things that kind of goes to the annoying pain points of home warranty that just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths, right?
Yeah.
So like you might have an AC replacement, then you still have a bunch of out-of-pocket expenses for things like refrigerant recapture, like you mentioned, or equipment removal. So our signature and Lux plans are covering those items. So among other things, those are two of the things that are covered: refrigerant recapture, removing old equipment, even structural modifications are covered with that. So a lot of the stuff that's just those annoying costs that are typically out-of-pocket expenses for these replacements and repairs, we cover them with those plans.
See, I ended up with a old 50-gallon water heater in my attic that they wouldn't take out. So I've been there too. So
It's just sitting there.
firsthand. Yeah, my friends and I had to take it down, and that was not the most fun thing to bring down a little drop down
A
attic
little
stairs.
ladder,
So
yeah.
yeah, that wasn't fun. So,
I believe it.
all these things being said, the service being great, the things that you guys offer that are a little bit done a little bit differently. One of my favorite things that you guys do is incorporate home maintenance into your warranty service as well. So maybe talk a little bit about that. So everything from the twice a year that you would have somebody come out to service your HVAC, getting it ready for winter, getting it ready for summer,
Right.
to all those other kinds of things. How's that handled with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So we package basically 11 different maintenance services. So to go back a little bit, the whole name Super comes off the name superintendent, right? So we want people to be able to own like a renter. That's kind of the motto. So we want to make the whole ownership process very easy and seamless. So it's not just breakdown coverage, but like you mentioned, for maintenance services. So for these 11 prepackaged services, it's just a flat $75. And then customers are able to take advantage of any of those services throughout the year. You mentioned one already, which is the HVAC tune-up. So one in the preseason in the spring, another time in the fall, flat 75, and then $40 if they have more than one system. So if they have two systems, then it would be $40 for that second. But then we would come out and tune up the system. We'd actually include coolant. So if they do need to have the system charged a little bit, that's included in that service. So we want to make that easy. Another bunch of services in that are lawn care. So we do lawn fertilization now. We do weed kill treatment. We do dryer vent clean out. We do rekey service. That's probably the most popular one. So whenever a customer closes on a home, as you know, I'm sure you recommend that they secure the property just doing the rekey. So that's just a flat, $75. We do up to 6 locks and give them 4 new keys. So all of those things among, like I said, we mentioned about 4 there. There's 11 total services that just allow for customers to have an easy experience with home ownership. And then we go a step further too. Those are the prepackaged ones that are just ready to go that make, it's just a list. Here's 75 or pay 75 and you're good to go. Our concierge service goes even further. So if somebody wants a handyman service, or if they want other services that are not in that list, they can request that from us as well. They don't have to pay the $75. It's a quoted price. They decide if they want to go forward with it. But the benefit to that is it's within our trusted network of vendors. So say somebody moves into town and they don't have a referral, they can utilize us for that service. And then it's also, we're still accountable for it. So they still are going to make sure that that quote goes through us and it's still paid out through us. So we still have transparency into that to make sure that they're getting a fair price.
So what's the, you said that the most popular service you guys have is your signature plan. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say that one's like I've been calling it our flagship plan. I'd say that's definitely the most popular because it covers a lot of those things that we talked about. Home ownership is really, home warranty rather, excuse me, is one of those things that people have a negative experience for. And it's a lot of times because that wrong expectations were set, right?
Right.
So sometimes they thought something was going to be covered and it wasn't. What we wanted to do, especially for buyers, is we cover unknown pre-existing conditions. So when they do their due diligence, they go ahead and get the inspection done and everything checks out. It might say, your AC is 10 years old. It's an older unit. They might say it needs to be replaced, but it's still running well. That's going to be a system that's still going to be covered by us, even if it breaks down 2 weeks after closing. So those expectations are the things that kind of where people get a gotcha, where there's some companies that won't cover that first month. They don't cover a buyer after they close for that first month. So we want to make sure that they're covered. And that signature plan that you mentioned, it covers things like we talked about, refrigerant recapture. It covers structural modifications that need to happen. It covers code and permitting. It covers crane costs. So for those that don't know what that is, if you have an AC unit on the roof, like a townhouse is typically where you found it, we cover the cost of the crane costs to get that new system in there. So those are the pain points that people kind of get that sour taste, that it feels like companies are doing a bait and switch.
So what's the annual cost on that signature plan?
Yep, for buyers, it is $699. And for existing homeowners that switch over and purchase from us, it is $829.
Okay.
That $829 can also be done monthly. And then if it is a new construction buyer, that plan is only $999 for 4 years of coverage, basically. So as you know, new construction, they have coverage for the first year from the builder. Typically, we cover years 2, 3, 4, and 5 for that one flat cost.
So yeah, that's something I was going to bring up as well, because I've been doing a ton of new construction. That's kind of what's going on out in this market out here out west. And I think probably, I don't know, 5 of my last 6 buyers have been new construction. So,
right.
They do get 1 year. There are a couple builders that'll throw in 2, 10 on foundation, a little bit more on roofs. But, basically that bumper to bumper, that warranty that we're talking about, we're really looking at 1 year.
Exactly.
And what I like about, what you guys are doing is that all of the maintenance things that we were just talking about, those kick in the first year, even though they're under the builder's warranty. So that $1,000 is actually really close to what they would be paying for 1 year. If we're talking 800 and something for 1 year. So they're really paying for 1 year, and then they're getting an additional 3 years. And that's going to take their home warranty out 5 years from the time that they finish building that home. But then right away, they can start using the things like every 6 months doing the tune up on the HVAC, which even if it's a new home is still going to need that servicing.
Absolutely.
You're still going to want to have, your dryer vent cleaned. You're still going to need the carpet cleaning. You're still going to need some of those things, lawn fertilizer, things like that. So they're still going to use all those things. And I mean, I think the average that I've seen when somebody comes out and does a HVAC service is probably $250. They're paying you $75. All of a sudden they're saving $175 there twice a year. That's what, $350. It adds up really quick just from the maintenance.
And a lot of them are doing like a monthly contract basis, where that's how they kind of cut the deal, is they'll charge them monthly and then they'll come out and do it. Like you said, preseason in the spring and fall. So they can avoid that monthly expense too.
It adds up quick, and you start to see the savings quick. And that's without even calling in, a big repair like an AC replacement or a water heater, something like that. So Jean, how can people register, sign up? How can they get in touch with you? Where do we take this?
Yeah, website is always, for existing homeowners, website is always a good first step to kind of take a look at what the coverages are, see what the difference is. And our customer service team is excellent. So that's a good first step for that. If anybody has questions, they can obviously give me a call. The one thing I wanted to add in terms of the new construction coverage that you mentioned is kind of the perception of it. I think that's one of the more underutilized plans that we have, because I think a lot of times people think, well, I'm getting a new home, I have the warranty from the builder, I don't really need to pay anything additional, or I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Right.
But 2 reasons I would say don't do that. One is exactly what you mentioned from a cost standpoint. If they come and visit us in that second year and they say, all right, Gene, I want super, let me buy that signature plan, it's going to cost them $829, even though that house is only a year old.
Right.
Whereas if they bought it at closing, they're spending $999. Right. They get 4 years of coverage.
Right.
And then the other thing too is people are thinking, oh, well, what are the chances I'm going to have, the AC is not going to go out within that first 5 years. And you're likely right. You're probably not going to have a big ticket issue in that first few years. But I bought a new construction house, and I've had an issue with my irrigation. A lot of people don't know irrigation is covered on all of our plans. I had to get coverage on that. My dishwasher has had issue. My refrigerator has had issue. My stove has had an issue twice where a burner was stuck. So these little things that are covered, and I've seen the cost of the repair. I've saved money by having the coverage on there and making sure that I was protected. So even though it's a newer home, things break down. That refrigerator issue I had was within 8 months of closing. So fortunately, it was still covered under the manufacturer. But even still, it's things break down, and that's really what it's for. It's not for, if nothing broke down, then we'd be out of business. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have a need for us. But things do happen, and it's for the things that you don't know are going to happen. It's it's for the just in case, similar to insurance. So I would say for any new construction clients, definitely think about getting that. And our website, to back to your original question, is hellosuper.com. Very straightforward.
Yeah, that's it. I have that conversation with every buyer that I work with. It's you're not going to go without homeowners insurance. You shouldn't go without a home warranty as well. I mean, it's just one of those things. The out of pocket is just ridiculous on some of these expenses, and it could all be synced with.
And I get it too, because I've spoken to a lot of homeowners and agents that are just jaded by home warranty. That home warranty has done as an industry, hasn't done a great job of bringing value. And I don't know if you know this, but I believe it's on Angie's list. Home warranty is the worst rated industry for 10 years running. Like worse than mechanics, worse than cable companies.
Wow.
They are the worst rated. So we have an uphill battle. We know that.
Right.
But I think by bringing value, and I think by really trying to push this industry forward and provide the type of coverage that people expect, I think we can move this industry in the right direction.
That's awesome. So hellosuper.com.
Yes, sir.
Is where they go.
HELLOSUPER.
That's it. And I have a referral code too. They could use my referral code.
Yes, you do. Yeah, that would be the way to go. So for yours, if you guys use his referral code, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but it should be super and then the last 4 of your phone number.
Yeah, it's super 3758.
There you go. So use that code, and then any homeowners that sign up, you'll get $50 in service rewards, and that service rewards can be used for those maintenance items that we spoke about. So basically, if you want to get anything done, like we also do light installation or fan installation, that would be a $75 charge. It would only be $25 out of pocket after that promo code.
That's awesome. That is
sir.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Gene.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good talking to you.
You as well.
I'll talk to you soon,
I gotta
man.
get one of those fancy mics for our next one.
That's it. You need to do it. Go get it. Go set up a home studio, man. That's next.
Exactly. All right, good sir.
All right, man.